Shields up, Ironbreakers. How's everybody doing? Today, we're going to be taking a bit of a dip into No Man's Sky. Take another look at it because since last time we've played it on YouTube here, there's been the Atlas Rises patch, and I decided to basically start a whole new save file to check out some of the new things and see whether or not the game is a little bit more worth it, so to speak, because that's kind of been a question that a lot of people have been asking. I played it on Twitch a while back, and then I played it some more recently, because I've been trying to advance to a point where I would get to see some of the base building stuff and whatnot, but I haven't really gotten there yet. But there are a couple of new cool things that I've seen, and I'd like to just talk with you guys about it, because a lot of people, like I said, have been asking whether or not it's worth it, all that stuff, and that's why I kind of named this particular stream, just how much has the Atlas really risen. So a very interesting feature for those of you that haven't been following all of the developments and stuff. We actually have a proper quest log now, so to speak. So I've taken the Atlas path. I've never really finished the original. And when I say the original, it's like I never really finished the initial version of No Man's Sky. I don't even know what this is. Not on Polo? Korvax and a Gek have offered me to help on my journey to seek data from my travel, and then Ghost in the Machine. So one of these is the new storyline that they talk about, which they say it's like 30 hours of storyline. I've done a little bit of it, and it actually does bring a little bit more structure into the game, if that is something that you want to have. Which I don't think everybody that plays No Man's Sky is going to necessarily want. They're going to necessarily want more structure, because one of the big things about No Man's Sky is that it's so open that you can do whatever you want. Again, this new quest is completely optional. You can do it, or you can choose not to do it. It is totally up to you. Magic Fig is asking, does the new patch have co-op? It's a weird thing. I sound like Sean Murray just now. I'm like, well, in all honesty, it's like, I would say if you're talking about traditional co-op that you would have in video games, I would say no. You can explore things next to other players. The other players, I believe, are represented by a ball of light, but traditional co-op in the true sense of the word, no. That I don't think that is a thing. You can totally play with other players, you can develop bases, you can go to the same planets, although you can't do it from the start. You have to advance enough in the game that you unlock one of the other new features, which is called portals, which is one of the things that I'm working on right now. So this is supposedly a contact from another character that I've recently interacted with, and he's supposed to tell me something about a place where I can set up a base. Let's talk with him. Ergantia. You are late. You were supposed to arrive minutes ago. Interloper, the price has been paid. Leave here at once and lay claim to your new base. From this stronghold, you will be able to explore the universe and return from any station. Okay, where's the base? Okay, I'm assuming I now know where it is. Find and claim a base. There it is, okay. Somewhere in this general direction. Before I move there, though, let me grab one of the other new things, which is the blueprint trader. I don't think this was a thing back in the original, or if it was, it wasn't as easy. And basically what this is like upgrades that you can buy and stuff in exchange for this new currency that's in the game, which are nanite clusters. So let me go see if I can grab something that is interesting here. Because I've just gotten to this, ooh, terrain manipulator. This could be interesting. I haven't touched this yet. I think this is another one of the new things. You can actually manipulate the terrain, so sure. I'll buy that. Boltcaster Sigma. I really wanted to actually get, you know, technology for other weapons in my ship. Ooh, the Blaze Javelin. I want this. And I can't buy it because I just spent... Oh, god damn it. I can't leave until I get these things. Is this for my gun or for the ship? No, I think this is for the ship. Good, because I want a couple of modified things on my ship. Sweet, sweet, sweet. It's all good. We can get more nanite technology. We can probably get some off of this guy. Like, maybe if we do something for him. Hey, bro, what's up? Viking interloper, Viking douche interloper. Okay. Warrior sighs as I step into their space. They push aside the morsel they had been occupied with and stare at me with great impatience. I'm sorry. And throw part of their meal at me as I leave. Wow. Really, dude? Thanks. Okay, just give me directions. Maybe we'll find a nice ship. This is something that I really like to do is an observatory. No, I'm not interested. Let's get out of here. I really like to get directions to places because that's how I kind of found this ship. And this ship is actually really good. I know she doesn't look like much, but she is really good. Okay, I'm glad that we can skip these journey milestones now. And let's get out of Dodge. So, now that we're out here, a couple of interesting things. I've done more combat in this version of the game than I had ever done in the previous version, which I found very interesting. There's also something here which is an anomaly. I believe that this was already present in the before Atlas Rises update, but I wanted to save that to watch with you guys as well. But first, let's go and find and claim ourselves a base. I'm hoping this is not a toxic planet because pretty much every goddamn planet I've found since I've restarted the game has been a toxic one. So this one is very distant. I'm not sure what that is supposed to mean, but we're going to go there. Now this ship, as I told you, is actually a pretty good ship. I found it, which was very satisfying to me, finding ships. One of the new features that I've encountered since I started playing again is that there's now a technology thing where you can actually build stuff for your ship, which then kind of makes you wonder, why can't I just like move launch thrusters to technology and a hyperdrive to technology? There are certain things that are frustrating about it, and I wish it was a little bit different with the technology stuff, that we'd be able to just like move it around. Wow, this does not look like a particularly healthy planet to put my base in. You know what I'm saying? Oh god, this is going to be so radioactive, am I right? No, actually it's all right. Wow, I am surprised. This is like one of the first all right missions that I have seen. Oh, we now have a freighter salvage mission because we just gotten the terrain manipulator. Yeah, I should probably build that. I'm assuming that's for the multi-tool. The multi-tool does not, however, have technology slots, which kind of sucks. Well, let's... Actually, no, I don't have to do it there. I can do it here. Build that. And now we can charge it up with, what, carbon? Oh, sweet. Ooh, God. That thing takes a lot of carbon. Takes a whole lot of carbon. So this could be our potential base. I take it. Means we could build on this. The molten base. Interact habitable base. Claim home planet. I'm assuming I can change this further down the line. Hey! Wow. They just straight up give us a dude. Oh, this is the guy who will probably build our stuff. Construct and staff a base. Bearing blueprints of structures. Stands in my home uninvited. Bearing blueprints of structures of augmentations that might be valuable to my base. Oh, so it's going to also use the same thing. Ah. Biodome, curved wall. 69,000 units for a biodome. Curved cuboid wall, glass cuboid room frame. Oh my god. What is going on with the frame rate? Like, the game was actually running fine up until we started this up. Colored light. Infrastructure. Colored light. Okay. Wow, a lot of stuff. What's this? Race initiator. Huh. We can craft... We can basically craft tracks and then have races on them. Message module. Okay. Small wedge. Pyramid. Curved pipe. Okay, I want a biodome. Where's the biodome? Let's go. Let's build one of these. How does this work? Oh, well, I bought the blueprint. I'm assuming I would now have to, like... Teleport unavailable. Okay, so that means if I have multiple bases. How about here? Okay. Build a straight corridor. Access the build menu with this. Aha. Assuming I'll have to build a corridor before I do that. So maybe I'll do this. Oh. 30 iron, 1 glass, and 10 iridium. I don't even know how to craft glass yet. Can I just do one that doesn't have glass? 20 iron. There we go. Now, let's say I would want to do this. This looks cool. Require player inside object. I'm sorry. Not enough resources. 80 titanium, 5 glass, and 2 living glass. Of course there's a storm coming. Why wouldn't there be? And it looks like it's chilly as hell. Okay, well, there's that to it. But yeah, this whole base building thing, that's one of the newer things. But unfortunately it requires way more resources than I currently have available to me. So let me just grab a little bit of plutonium before we move on. The hell? Oh, I have the terrain manipulator. Oops. I thought I had the mining beam, so I guess I just destroyed that plutonium. Good job. Oh, man. My base. I'm assuming that even though I can only have one base, you guys are telling me right now in chat, even if you have, I'm assuming even if you have your one base, you can swap it later down the line, just have another one, because I think it would make sense for them to just tie you down in a planet forever. Particularly when a game like this, which is so much focused on exploration and whatnot. We're not really going to be building the car. Another thing, because honestly I don't even know how to get to the part where you build the car, but another thing that they've also done that people have been really happy about is the fact that you can now fly closer to the ground. Wow, this planet actually looks kind of neat. To be completely honest, I actually don't mind this planet as much as I thought I would. But yeah, you can now fly close to the ground. As a matter of fact, you can hit the deck with your ship, and you can severely damage your ship if that is something that you wish to do. And there's also new kinds of ships. I've been told that the ship that I've gotten was some kind of new ship that came out with the update as well. But yeah, being able to fly close to the ground was never something that I was like, oh my god, I really wish I could. But I understand that some people want the more realistic flying and the little bit less hand-holdy than it was. Because previously you basically couldn't do it. But still, I mean, particularly if you've played Elite Dangerous, this kind of flying is still very much super simplistic. Because I can, at the drop of a dime, hit square and land my ship. So, you know. But I think people come to both these games for different reasons. Now, something about me and No Man's Sky is that unlike most people who basically took a dump on No Man's Sky, because let's face, oh wow, I remember these. Can't I get like, I think I can get stuff off of these. The problem is that the dudes usually don't like it, the Guardians, the Sentinels. Oh sweet, plutonium. Should probably blast these, right? Oh, you need exotic stuff. That's also another new thing, the fact that you need special mining beams in order to mine certain things. Also new. Because pretty much, I think before you used to be able to just do whatever the hell you wanted. I'm gonna grab these trees. Gonna grab, oh, nice little monolith. I wouldn't mind actually exploring the crap out of this planet. Sticking around for a while. I wonder what's that? What kind of element is that? Scan a couple of beasties in the planet. If we're making this our home planet for now. Might as well get a little bit of money for it. Also, we got some iridium over there. Oh, hey. Look at how cute they are. Wow, these things eat iridium. Doesn't sound very healthy, but to each his own. Oops. Ran out of jetpack. Now I'm curious, is that zinc the big pile of stuff that's up ahead of us? Might be. Build a cylindrical room. I'll do that later. I don't have to do that right now. You can't tell me what to do, game. I can still just play the way I want to. Looks like we got ourselves another little bit of a monolith here. Grab that. Learn a little bit more of the language. This is actually not a bad planet at all. Not a bad planet at all. But as I was saying to you guys, it's like I was never one to completely take a dump on No Man's Sky. As a matter of fact, I had fun on the time that I had played it. It didn't really grab my attention as much as maybe it could. But I still had fun with the time that I had played it, and I didn't think it was nearly as bad as people were making it out to be. Oh wow, this is gold. This is a nice chunk of gold. Although gold is actually not as valuable as you might think in No Man's Sky, particularly in the systems that I've been to so far. It hasn't really been that impressive. But yeah, it's like a lot of people nowadays are asking themselves the question, like, is it worth it for me to come back to No Man's Sky? Particularly because there's obviously discounts and stuff, and there's a new update, and there's a lot of hype behind it. And now they're saying there's actually multiplayer now. You can meet with other players, and it's like, still, even though you can meet with other players, I don't think that should be the cornerstone of your decision making when it comes to No Man's Sky. It's like, if you're just looking for a multiplayer game, I still don't think that this is it. Particularly because, like, I've been trying to play with a friend of mine, and we instantly hit the bump, which was none of us were at the portals, at the portals section of the game. And until you get portals, it's actually near impossible to meet up with your friends. Sure, you can go through the galactic map and hope that you will find similar constellations and eventually find each other, but we were trying to do that for like an hour or so, me and a friend of mine, and there's just too many systems, too many planets, too many things. And without portals, because with portals, what I was reading about was that with portals you could actually you can get these glyphs, and then depending on the planets that you go to, you're going to have a combination which is supposed to be a password or something. And then if both of you have access to a portal, you can just kind of like teleport to each other, and then you can start working on your bases and all that kind of stuff, if that is something that you wish to do with friends. But I still don't know what that experience is like because I haven't gotten to experience it. But from the description and from what I've read online, I still don't think that is much of a reason to go ahead and do it. Now, what I'm going to do here is, wow, this planet is actually rich in a lot of things. Like, this is definitely a cool planet to settle down on. Particularly a cool system because it's got an anomaly. It's also got a couple of things that I want to get with nanite cluster. So I've actually found myself a decent system that I'm probably going to hang out here for a while I'm doing both the quest and base building and all of this other stuff. Because I'm assuming that eventually you'll be able to make some decent chunk of money with your base building. Or so I'm led to believe. But again, that is another one of those new things that requires quite a bit of time investment before you can actually see some results. Now, another thing that you guys can clearly see is the performance. Like, if you go back and you look at my very first live stream about No Man's Sky, you're going to notice, like, the difference in frame rate. You're going to notice the difference in stability, probably in graphical detail. It's just the game looks and feels a lot better now, and there have been a lot of improvements both in terms of the UI itself and the way that things are organized, particularly like here, you know, like where you get to see the actual quests that you're doing and the stuff that you're working on. So for instance, we also need to explore the space anomaly, which I'll be doing in this live stream. Right now I'm just collecting a couple of resources, and I wanted to show you something else, which is previously, you know, you walk away from your spaceship and now you'd be like, well, shit, now I have to go all the way over there. It's going to take me like 3 minutes or whatever. However, with the new feature, what you can do is basically you can call your spaceship to you, which is pretty convenient. Like, I can just do this, and there it is. I actually looked to the side, but you can see the ship landing. So basically you can go as far away from this ship as you want, and you can always just call it back whenever you need to, and it will be there available for you. Now let's recharge our launch thrusters, because I used quite a bit of that. Pop some plutonium in there. Okay. Now we can still scan and check out a couple of interest points along the planet. Let me just see what this is. What the hell is this? Can't actually look down enough, but I kind of don't want to. It just looks like a safe spot. I kind of don't want it to like land there, because then you would waste plutonium on your space thrusters, and I don't want to have to waste that. Take a look at this shelter here. Although it looks like it's pretty far away. At least it's not off planet, but we can move ourselves away from the planet a little bit to increase the speed at which we can travel. We can actually even pulse jump right now. Whee! Wow. It's a big planet. You guys see how long we traveled with maximum thrusters? That was insane. So basically, the game is now close to what the devs originally... See, Arc 101, I think a lot of people read too much into what Sean Murray said. I gotta be completely honest there. I do feel... Did we go around the world? I think we might have gone around the world. I do feel that a lot of people are maybe a little bit too gullible. Did they capitalize on the overhype that people were for No Man's Sky when it was released? Hell yeah, they did. It's their job. You know, it's like people are hyped for this game. We should totally hype it up even more. It's their job, you know, just the way it is. And again, it just goes back to people just being way too gullible. Like, I didn't have a lot of the expectations that people had for No Man's Sky, and I guess that's why I wasn't nearly as disappointed as a lot of people were. That doesn't make it okay, but it also doesn't make it, like, how should I put it? It also doesn't mean that... Basically what I'm trying to say is I just hope people learn something. Like, don't blindly think that, oh my God, like for instance, just look at Star Citizen, you know, all the things Star Citizen is promising. You think you guys are convinced that all of that stuff is going to happen as well? You know, it's one of those things. And again, I haven't been following Star Citizen all that much, so maybe it's not really a good comparison term, but I'm just trying to tell you guys that people will always overcapitalize on hype. And I do feel that the community's reaction was way over-exaggerated when it came to No Man's Sky. Sweet, some nanite clusters so that I can eventually buy the technology that I want to buy from the space station in this system. We already saved the game as well. Now, considering that this does have a sat dish, it could potentially point us to a crashed ship. I love exploring crashed ships. It's one of my favorite things. Hey, bro. How you doing? Interloper, warrior. Yes. The warrior looks up from a screen of flashing alerts. They bare their teeth at me, quivering with barely contained fury. It's clear that my presence is barely tolerated here. The warrior's hand reaches to their weapon. Offer to help. Warrior is outraged. They slap me hard across the face. What the fuck? Dude, I wish I could shoot. I would kill you right now. How dare you? Fucking guy. Slap me across the face. Whatever. Let's do whatever we're supposed to do here. Stargazers. Probably gonna lead me to some monolith. Images show this observatory was once a war zone. Mangled metal, scorched walls, and the heavily decayed corpses of a dozen hulking life forms betray a brutal firefight. Now repaired, whatever transpired, it must have happened before the beacon flashed on screen arrived. Perhaps if I enter the correct code, I can decipher it. This is not too hard. It's gonna be 7398. Always the same thing. Leaps into life. New destination deep within the cosmos. Yep, like I said, it's ruins, right? That's a ruin off planet. Well, I want to go and explore the anomaly since it's something that I've never done, and I'm curious for checking it out. But whether or not the game is worth, because I still see people talking about, like, oh, it's closer to what it was before, all these other things. And it's like, to me, I almost feel like if you didn't like the game before, you know, there's a lot of quality of life changes, but ultimately, most of the game is the same. You know? It's like, me personally, I like the game before. I like it way more now because they've added a lot of more cool stuff to it. But it's like, if you didn't like it before, I don't think most people will like it now. And if there is someone who did not like it before and they like the game now, I'm very curious to hear why. Because, you know, it's like, the only thing they really changed is how easy it is and how the structure, and by how easy I mean how easy it is to understand certain things better and how more structured it is, making it maybe easier to evolve and progress in the game, because it used to be, I don't know, I think I've achieved more in the short time that I've spent with the game now, which is a lot shorter than what I've played previously, than what I achieved when I first started playing No Man's Sky. Because just more interesting stuff has happened. Like, for instance, a lot of the times I'll be doing what I'm doing right now, and just a bunch of thugs will show up and I'll have to duke it out in space, which I don't think I've done, like, once last time. Wait, before we leave, though, do we have room in our exosuit? We do. Because I'm probably gonna need room for picking stuff up at the anomaly, I think. Maybe. Who knows? Looks like a freaking Death Star when I get there. Well, Arc 101, you're saying that it's all about exactly what the devs said, but it's like I hear a lot of people constantly bring up the multiplayer portion of it. For instance, that's the one that I personally always bring up, at least when I talk about it, because a lot of people always say, "You said we'd have multiplayer," and it's like if you recall the interview that I remember him talking about multiplayer, Sean Murray specifically said, if you're looking for a game where you come and you play with your friends, this is not that game. He specifically said this, you know? So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that stuff with the multiplayer and whatnot. I'm curious about what this anomaly is. But it's like I've heard people say that in other interviews he distinctly said you could see other players and then that was never a thing. So, yeah, I don't know. Because I didn't watch all of the interviews. I tend, as you guys know, I tend to avoid sometimes a lot of media ahead of game releases, specifically because of spoilers and stuff like that. Again, I want to make sure people understand, because I don't really have a horse in this race. But it's like, I think people overreacted, and that is something that the internet does a lot. They overreact to stuff. I don't think the game was as bad as people painted it out to be. That's ultimately what I'm trying to say. What's this? Priest Entity Nada. Okay. Is it Traveler? Is it first or last? Pleasure regardless. I am Priest Entity Nada, Divergent Korvax, but entities must keep secrets. This entire station rings with a strange and unnerving frequency. Nada tells me that we stand in the place between worlds, in the heart of the anomaly. They can guide me towards the will of the Atlas. They offer to show me the way to the galactic core if I should so wish. They can provide resources for my journey. The choice is mine. Oh, so I get to choose. Give me resources. Coolant Network Sigma. User is guarded from extreme heat damage on scorched worlds. That was not really worth it. How about you? Friends in all shapes, all size, all places. The Gek wipes their grease-splattered hands on their suit as they address me. Introduce themselves, Specialist Polo, fugitive of the Gek. Okay, they're curious about my travels, about what sentient species I have seen. Transmit species data. They're already familiar with cheering those they are not. Finally, Polo applauds wildly and hands me a blueprint. They claim they were now bonded in glorious Atlas Pass version 1. Oh my god. I'm so happy. I needed that. What's this? Korvax Simulation Terminal. Machine is ancient and powerful, relic of a world long since destroyed. Okay. I'm assuming the one behind the other one would be a Gek terminal. Well, maybe not. Maybe I can't even go there. Okay. Ooh. Oh my god. The amount of slots on this thing. Oh, but I can't. I would have to pay for it. Of course, it wasn't going to be free. That'd be far too convenient. Wouldn't it? Well, you guys didn't really do much for me. That makes me less happy. Well, that was interesting. Oh, crap. No! Didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that. Another thing that I would really, really like No Man's Sky would do would be to support my HOTAS. Fortunately, it doesn't. I'm assuming people can probably get something out of it on PC, but on PS4 it just does not work at all. And it would be really cool to be able to fly my ship with my HOTAS. But then again, it doesn't really seem like the ship controls lend themselves all that well to that kind of stuff. So I don't know. We also got a fiery planet over there. And we got our home planet over here, which we can go to, or we also have a new planet that we can explore over there, the Ruin. I figure we should probably start building stuff on this planet. Although I don't have the blueprints to create glass, do I? I do, however, have the blueprints. I do, however, have whatever I need to create Atlas Pass 1. Oh, and this is pretty much a consumable. Well, that kind of sucks. Anyway, let me take a look here. Yeah, we can craft carite sheets, bypass chips, power gels. Not really glass, though. So glass still outside of our possibilities, which means we would have to do a whole lot of exploration, a whole lot of quests over there. It'd be cool if we'd encounter some if we were able to encounter some ships to fight, because that's something that I've been doing quite a bit whenever I have a chance. Fortunately, it's not something that I can just like trigger like, hey, I feel like fighting right now, let's go fight. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not crash into the space station, shall we? Earlier when I was here, I was trying to set up for starting the stream, and a bunch of ships just showed up and tried attacking me. It'd be cool if that happened again, but it's probably not going to happen. Also, I should come into the space station and sell the gold that we've acquired for money, even though they're not going to give me that much money for it. Jesus, you got 27 mil, Terran? Holy crap, I got like 700k and... Yeah, it hasn't been easy making money. I remember I made a bunch of millions when the game first came out, because me and Hengist were like using this thing where we were able to buy a specific good off of one ship and then sell it to another one in the same space station. We made a lot of money out of that. Wasn't necessarily the most fun experience, though. Where is the Galactic Trade Terminal? Here it is. Sell that gold, shall we? Sell items from your inventories. Gold. See, wasn't that valuable? I gave us like 90k. Considering the amount of work it takes to do that kind of stuff. These scented pheromones. They're buying these at... We can make a decent little profit with instability injectors, but we can't craft them, so... Yeah. Yeah. Also, I should reload my mining beam. We need more and more technology for this stuff as well. Amium, carbon, let's do carbon. You have 120 mil, Carmile. Holy crap, dude. How do you even make money? I'm assuming it might be something to do with the building of bases. I'm assuming you can bank off of that, at least. Unknown planet. Undiscovered. Forsaken planet. Aluminum, Heridium. Let's head over to the planet where we have our base. Let's do a little bit of exploration there. We're probably going to run out of fuel. which is okay. Expand and staff your new home, explore the galaxy, enjoy the journey. Huh, interesting. The anomaly thing disappeared. Build coolant network Sigma. I mean, I don't have to do that if I don't want to, I would imagine. Yep. We are out of fuel. Pulse engines are offline. Luckily, there should be iron right about here. Seriously? Maybe I already have too much iron. Fair enough. Jesus Christ. You think? I don't actually know what kind of thing these things are giving us. What's this? Oh, it's copper. But it's not just copper, it's something else as well. Not that it matters all that much. Let's go. Back to base. You grow fungus and cacti and then you manufacture a liquid explosive. That seems pretty violent for a game that looks like this, you know what I'm saying? Vibrant colors, beautiful worlds. Players sell liquid explosive. Seems legit. Did I mean about the landing though? I just like, boop. Done. We've landed. However, we need to look for a... Oh, wow. That looks neat. I didn't even know you could edit it from the outside. I like that biodome thing. I'd like to build more of that. What do they want me to build? They wanted me to build something. I think it was this, a cylindrical room. I should have enough iron for this. Oh wow, you can do it on top? So does this just increase our ceiling, or what's the deal? Like, how would I go up there? Well, that just seems like it was a bit of a waste. So I can now teleport. Once we have teleported to it from a space station. Ah. So I'd have to go to the space station and then teleport here. Gotcha. So it looks like spending 100 iron to put that cylindrical room up there was kind of a waste. Planetary base construction. Build a construction terminal. Okay. Construction terminal. Can recruit overseers in space stations. So I'll need an overseer to use this. Hire a base overseer. Staff are available to hire at space stations. Guess I'll fly to the space station, then I'll teleport to the terminus thing. Then I'm assuming I'll be able to call my ship down here. Okay. Whee! Look at all the iron we're spending. See, this is also something that frustrates me a little bit in No Man's Sky, which is, it's like you see that a lot of the elements in No Man's Sky are user-friendly, for the most part. Let's face it, it's a very, I don't want to say simplistic, but I want to say it is fairly easy for you to just, like, you know, get on your ship, fly around, do stuff, right? And then for a game that is so friendly on so many aspects, why do I need plutonium for launch thrusters, then iron in order to be able to actually move around, and finally you need the complex dark matter shit in order to do jumps into hyperspace. And also, like for instance, let's say I want to load up, which I actually loaded up my hyperdrive. You guys can see it's pretty loaded up. Well, let's say I want to, wait, don't I have, like, I have additional warp cells, yeah. Let's say I would want to craft another warp cell, right? You have to go here, and let's just assume I would have everything to do the warp cell. Why can't I just, like, come over here and just, like, warp cell? Boom, done. No, instead of that, you have to go do, okay, let's start with suspension fluid. After the suspension fluid, let's create electron vapor. After the electron vapor, let's create the antimatter. After the antimatter, then we can create the warp cell. It's like, I have all the materials. I have all of them. Why wouldn't you just let me, boop, warp cell, use all the materials necessary, done. You know, wouldn't that have been a much better way of going about it? I don't know. These are some of the things that do bother me. The complexity of for starters, the fact that you need 3 different types of fuel to navigate through the universe, and then on top of it, one of those types of fuels, which is the warp stuff that you use for navigating hyperspace and doing the hyperspace jumps, requires you to do this complex. I mean, it's not that complex once you know what you're doing, but ultimately, isn't it a bit of a waste of time? A Flying Taco 1. What if you never played the game to begin with? Would it be worth it now? I mean, if you like what you're watching, yes. It's one of those things. I mean, the thing about this game is that it's a lot about crafting and exploration and all of these other things. I do feel, however, that a lot of the times the crafting aspect of it takes a bit away from the exploration, because, like, you're kind of forced to do a lot of crafting and do a lot of figuring out how to upgrade your ship and whatnot. So it's really up to each individual player, because like I said, I don't think the game changed that much. Like, sure, it's changed. We now have bases, we now have vehicles, we have all these other things, but ultimately I don't think it's such a huge difference from what it used to be. So it's kind of like, if you liked it back then, you're going to like it more now. If you didn't like it back then, I don't think you're going to like it now anyway. Is it really you? Forgive me, I've been searching for such a long time. I'm contracted to aid you in this and every cycle. Don't worry, everything was paid for a long time ago. It's all quite above board. Myself in a mirror, aged and alone, of this geck cradling its fallen brethren, of a bargain made many years from now, contract signed across the cosmos. Okay, let's hire the construction overseer. Very well, let's figure out how I can teleport back to my base. Would I be able to do it from here? Atlas Pass V3, so no, I can't do it from here. I think that you're supposed to be able to teleport back to your base from the other side. There. But I could be wrong. This ship looks cool. I like this ship. How good is it? Let me take a look at your ship. Trash. Trash ship is what it is. It's trash. 29 slots. Psh. Casual. How many technology slots? Mine is more. Yeah. Holy crap, look at this thing. Corporal Luigi. Luigi. Thought it was Luigi. What you got there? 30 slots. Probably garbage and technology, right? Yeah. My ship has 36 slots. I like my good Phoenix Claw. Look at her. This is what I'm talking about. Some serious friggin' slots. I should probably unlock a couple more, but it's so expensive. Nice overseer hat. Aha! Who's this guy? Ah, missions. So this is where you can kind of go to eliminate sentinels, nanite cluster, impact, vengeance, exterminate planetary creatures. Ah, I wasn't even aware that you had these missions now. That's kind of cool. I'll probably want to come back here. See, this is another one of those new things that I wasn't even aware. I'd like, if there were missions to actually take out ships, see, that would be interesting. That I could show you guys a little bit of combat. Exterminate planetary creatures, giant warriors, exterminate planetary creatures, impact damage, Sigma. This could be cool. Shadowy bust up. Eliminate sentinels. How many? They do not know if the sentinels can feel pain. They implore you to find out. The client is aware one can only make a small dent in the sentinel's numbers, but feels it is a worthy endeavor nonetheless. I could use a couple of nanite clusters, and I don't like sentinels, so I'm cool with that. Collect an item. Okay, let's do this one as well. Romorsk Oshov. I'll have to change the name of this base. But for now, I'm just trying to do the thing for the first time. And see, you can now teleport back to your home base. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do in-game. There's always been stuff, if you follow the Atlas path. You can reach the center of the galaxy and then something happens, which I don't actually know because I've never gotten there. But I've heard that a lot of people have been disappointed by what happens when you reach the center of the galaxy. Which, I guess, I've never been super interested in what happens afterwards, since to me it's always been more about the journey. And it looks like we're back on base. Here's our little overseer dude. And I should go kill a couple of sentinels. If I can find them, that is. And looks like our ship automatically gets... Deliver the iron to the secure depot. Oh, I have to go there to deliver the goods. Okay. Interesting that it's iron that they want, because I just happen to have tons and tons of iron. Whee! Always scan just in case there's interesting things around. Another thing that would be cool would be to have an outside camera of your ship. There's not that, but at least you can like take screen grabs of it now. If you press down, there's this new thing. Is this, and you guys can see that this is my ship. Basically, it seems to pause the entirety of the game. Not sure how this would work if I was in multiplayer with a friend. Not sure what would happen there. Wonder if they would just like see my ship suddenly freeze in the air. But you know, I guess it'd be cool if you could just, like if I could just align the camera like this and then fly the ship, but that's not a thing. The story seems more fleshed out now, Neko Ali. The thing is, I feel that the story that you get, like the 30 hours of story that we're talking about, is independent from the Path of Atlas. It's two different things. At least that's the way that I feel about it. Which actually means if you already have a save game, you don't have to do like I did and restart the game, because your save file is not going to interfere in the telling of the story. And the story appears to be dynamic, so you can experience the story anywhere in the galaxy with different characters and whatnot. Ooh, what's this? Looks like some kind... Ooh. These things usually have crashed ships that they've found. Right, usually these towers, you can find crashed ships using them. One, 2, 6, 24. Seems like it's times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5. That would be times 6. 120 times 6. $720. Stress signal coordinates. Yep, that's a ship. Now, wouldn't it be fantastic for me to find an even better ship than the one that I have? Well, it's either a ship or a... It could also be a crashed freighter, which I hope it's not. Because I don't feel like wasting too much of my terrain manipulator thing. Their movements are slow, their eyes struggle to focus. Touch their shoulder. Warrior relaxed and says nothing. I should leave them to rest. Okay. Liquidator. Warrior looks as if they want something dead. Thankfully, right now, it feels like that's... doesn't feel that's me. Well, we've gotten the location of a crashed ship, which is one of the things that I like doing, so we'll check that out. Looks like it's on the planet as well. I don't see any sentinels here, so we're going to move on. Another thing that I wish they wouldn't do is they automatically correct. So like this thing, it's correcting automatically. So like if I bank, like this, it's automatically going to return to the center. And I wish you could turn that off, and it doesn't seem like you can. There's a lot of gold on this planet of mine. This is good. I should probably farm the crap out of this gold and just make bank. I mean, ultimately, it's not a bad-looking planet since it's got the colors red and green, which are the same colors as the Portuguese flag. Looks like we're going to arrive on the craft... No, we're not. Crashed ship actually seems to be on the other side of the planet. Yeah, I know, I need to scan stuff. What's this? Probably one of those structures that's got like green goop all over it. Not gonna be following up with that. Ooh, another tower. Another tower, another ship. Let's go ahead and use this thing. Osiriwagi Post. 2345 89 177. 23 plus 23 minus 1. 45 plus 45 minus 1. 89 plus 89 minus 1. Therefore, it's times 2 minus 1. 177 times 2 is 1. 353. Another distress signal. That is a crashed freighter, which I am not interested in. Oh, did it replace my other signal? It better not have. I don't think it does, right? Because if it did, I just screwed myself off of a ship. It did replace it. Well, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have done it. I thought it would just add on top of it. But turns out it replaces it, which kind of sucks. Kind of sucks that you replaced my thing. I was hoping I would go and find another crashed ship with you guys, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Restore point saved. Ah, 250, huh? Oh, you have to return to the mission agent afterwards? This ship also looks cool. I always like checking out ships. Looks real cool, but it's a really bad ship. 150,000 units. Not surprised. It's actually really cheap. It's not that bad. Like, mine's better, but that one's not that bad. I should find a couple of agents. Sentinels, I mean. Little bit of suit upgrading, never hurt anyone. Yes, please. I can change it back in the missions menu? Let me see. Oh, this is discoveries. Navigation and discovery. No, I don't think that's a thing. I don't think those count. Need to destroy 7 sentinels. And I could probably trigger a sentinel response if I was to just start farming stuff. Crashed freighter. Don't care about crashed freighters. There's like a cave system in this world. Caves all over the place. Oh, another suit upgrade. Those are not too hard to find. Like, you can actually have your detector just, like, find that stuff. For as many things as you want. So you can, like, fully upgrade your suit in one planet. I was just trying to find some wildlife so that I can start slaughtering them. Ooh. This is a nice little spot here. Some water and stuff. All these pillars around. Let's see if there's any wildlife here. Looks like a lot of that stuff does not render until you're in the ground. Oh, there we go. Sentinels. Call your friends. Come on, call your friends. I'm trying to see if you would call more of them, but it's only him. Sentinel force deactivated. Let's kill a bunch of the wildlife. Usually this triggers them to show up. There we go. Pugnium. Should sell some of this pugnium. It's pretty easy to get. This. Yeah, I need a hazmat gauntlet. Hey there. Need like 4 more of these. Come here, little creature. You're gonna die for my own selfish needs. He's like, no! Don't shoot me with the hurt beam. This is terrible. I'm a terrible individual. Oh, there you are. Good. Okay, it looks like this one's calling more friends. Yeah, keep doing that. Keep calling friends. There you go. I wonder how many more I need to kill. Let me check the log here. Okay, we need 2 more. One more. And then I'm going to turn these in because I'm curious. No more? Of course my inventory's full. This is one of the really big frustrating things about the game though. Inventory's always full. Hi. Alrighty then. Like there's a couple of these barrels I can't use. Either way, let's go back to the thing and check out how that works. Do you think Hello Games will be able to recover from the damage their brand suffered? Yes. Are you kidding me? Electronic Arts is still here. Warner Brothers is still here. You know? So yes. And like I said, I personally don't think that the game they released was a bad one. Was it overhyped? For sure. Was it bad? No. My opinion, no. Where the hell is the entrance, man? Where's the entrance to this place? Turn to the planet, just like in Elite Dangerous. Whee! So, this is the place towards the trades and whatnot, this way, and then here is for those missions that we just did. See, these missions are interesting. $53,000 units. Hardly worth it. Would have probably made more selling the iron. But it does increase your standing with the Merchants Guild. This increases your standing with the Viking. Wow, that is a significant amount of nanite cluster. Stellar Confrontation. Hunt low-level pirates. See, this is what I wanted. Hulls to the yeah. So that I could give you guys a little bit of dogfighting before we back off. Before we do that, though, of course, we gotta do something cooler than that. Shane Farjo, Rui, which game is worth more, Elite Dangerous or No Man's Sky? Depends on what you want to do. There are games that are better at different things, like No Man's Sky is very good at exploration, but it really excels at the crafting. You know, it's like, although it excels in crafting to the point where it's a detriment to the game itself, because a lot of the times the crafting risks becoming boring, in my opinion. So, you know, it's one of those things. It's very different things. Now, in my personal preference, I like Elite Dangerous more because it's weird to say this, but because it's got less things, but the things that are there for everyone. You know, for starters, it's a better multiplayer experience because you can actually wing up with other players and have fun that way. But also because it has things that are handmade, like the Thargoid threat and the events that they run with their community, constantly running events, community goals, constantly doing stuff, and the ships that you have in the game. There are a certain number of ships. Each ship excels at this thing. You know where to get them. You know where to buy them. You know what to do with them. Whereas in Elite Dangerous, a lot of these things are just random. Like, you can randomly run into some really cool stuff like I did when I restarted playing it, because I randomly ran into my ship. And my ship is really good for a very early on ship. It's a 36 slot ship, and it's really good. But I also randomly ran into something that was very disappointing, which was 80 to 90% of the planets that I visited were fucking toxic. You know? So that's the nature of randomness. You can get some cool moments, you can get some bad moments, and it's going to boil down to personal preference. I think Elite Dangerous is a more interesting game. That does not mean that I don't like No Man's Sky. Let me just grab something that I wanted here, which is the Blaze Javelin. I'm hoping the Blaze Javelin is for the Starship. It is not. Probably for the multi-tool then. Yep. Man, I really wish that was for the ship. I'm gonna need aluminum. Okay. We'll figure that part out later. I didn't notice that it wasn't for the ship. There's probably something there that says it. Either way, let's do a little bit of dogfighting. Yes, Elite Dangerous does have a huge sense of achievement. Where? Where? There it is. Looks like I'm not the only one hunting you guys. Bazoosh. I'll take that loot. Thank you very much. Wow, is that it? That was pretty easy. But yeah, this has been something that I also feel has become a lot better, is the dogfighting, although we only really got one ship. I've been attacked by ships randomly quite a few times. Whee! But anyway, I'm going to call this stream here, you guys. I wanted to show you guys what No Man's Sky is at the moment, which in my opinion is not that different from what it was. It's got some new features like the base building, the vehicle that we didn't really get to see because I don't know how to build that yet. It's got improved mission structure. It's got missions that you can do on space stations. It's got the new blueprint system. All of these new things that are a lot of fun. But ultimately, it is an improvement on what was already there. Which, in my opinion, if you didn't like what was already there, I don't think that the current version of the game is going to make you like it more. The multiplayer still needs quite a bit of work, in my opinion. So I'm not sure that multiplayer should be, you know, your focal point if you want to get back into No Man's Sky. But ultimately, I already thought that No Man's Sky was a pretty good game, even though a lot of people didn't like it or upset about it, overpromised, overhyped, all of these other things. I already liked it. I think it's much better now, so I still like it. But yeah, ultimately, whether or not it's going to be worth it for you, it's going to be dependent on how you liked it to begin with, you know? But that's just my opinion, because I've heard a lot of people saying, now's the time to come back to No Man's Sky, and I come back and I'm like, I don't see why you would tell people that they should come back now. I mean, sure, the game is a lot better, but if they didn't like it back then, I don't think they're going to like it now, you know? And I don't think that's the intent of these patches, the patches and the new DLC and all the new stuff that Elo Games is working on. I think the intent is to improve for the people that liked the base game, not necessarily to bring in new people now. But again, I also happen to believe that there is a lot of over-exaggeration on how bad or how good the game was. A lot of people over-exaggerated the negativity on No Man's Sky, in my opinion, but hey, maybe that's just me. Thank you guys very much for watching. Remember, subscribe if you're new, leave a like if you enjoyed the stream, and comments and feedback if you're watching it later as a VOD. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you the next one.